Hi guys, good morning and good evening. I hope you are able to hear me. Can anyone please confirm? Okay, perfect. So before going to the partitions, I wanted to complete this SAD type 2 implementation, because if you remember, for SAD type 1, I created the databases and I kept those databases as it is. So I am not able to remove it because I don't want to remove till this is completed. So if I don't complete it, it will be charged for me. So yesterday only I got to know, I remembered that. Okay, so I wanted to utilize that. And once this is completed, then I'm going to talk about the partitioning. Okay. Let me open Excel file. Okay, so this is the type 1 implementation we have seen. Before that, let me open the data factory and come back to here. My data factory is ADF Bhaskar 123. We just created a branch and we left it, right? Okay, so let me complete that and then we'll talk about this partitioning, because the partitioning is completely theory part only. Okay, so there will be nothing for us to do it until just like a few check boxes. Let's go for author. I wanted to go to my branch, that is SAD type 2 branch. We already created. Whatever is there in the main branch, that was already available when we created a branch. So you can find SAD type 1 is available. Let's go for here, SAD type 2. I just created a data flow, but I didn't do anything. So what I wanted to do here is, when we are going to use this SAD type 2 is to maintain historical data, we are going to use the SAD type 2. Okay, so three categories will be there when you go for SAD type 2. One is, if there is a new record in the data source, then there will be insert in the target. Whenever there is a new record in the source, then there will be insert in the target. Okay, so let me show you with example so that you'll get better clarity. Let me take this duplicate of this copy. Let me say it is SAD type 2. Let's take out everything from here. And here also I'm just taking out. Only I'm just keeping only one row. Okay. So when you first time, the first point is talking about what? If there is a new record in the source, then there will be insert in the target. So apart from this few columns, we are also going to have a start date and end date. Okay, so these flags will be there for us. When you go for SAD type 2 implementation. Okay, so this is the table. So start date and end date will be there. When you have a very first new record, I mean to say, if the record is not existed in the target, then you have to insert the data. You have to feed that particular record. That is what I'm saying this point. If there is a new record in the data source, then there will be insert in the target. So how do you know that is a new record is? If this 101 is not existed in the target, then that you have to bring it into this particular place. Okay, so just imagine I'm just taking this copy of this. And one more thing, I wanted to add one more column I forgot to add. To the right side, I mean to say left side. Cost to pick. I'm just giving customer key. Okay, so this is a surrogate key, a key which is not having any business meaning for that we can say it is a customer key or surrogate key. So here your customer key is the surrogate key. This is not having any business meaning. It generates the sequence numbers. But this is a business key. This is having a meaning for that. Okay, so since this is not available in this particular place, customer key will be generated as a 1 and customer ID is 101. From the source it will take. Name will be taken from the source itself and location also will be taken from the location. I mean to say source. And 1000 is the sales. So starting date you can keep, I'm just taking here 04 17 2024. So this is the starting date. And end date, what you are going to keep it? End date, some people they used to keep a null, or some people they used to keep 0101 1990 also. 1900 they are going to keep it. It all depends on the situation. You can keep it. You can go with the null. So I'm going to take it as a null. I'm going to treat that. And here I have given if end date is null. I mean to say if end date is null. If end date is null or if end date is 0101 1900, then we can say that record is live record. So how can you say that is a live record? How do you know that is a correct address? If your end date is null or if your end date is this particular date, okay, so in that case we can say it is a live record. Otherwise we can say it is an expired record. So here I'm taking this null as a reference to say is that the new record or expired record. So I'm just going to keep null here. The second record also is exist. Second record also I'm just fading it in the source. Okay, so 2000 it is. And when you load second time, this 101 is already existed. So I mean to say this 101 is already existed. So it will not go for that. If at all, if there is any change, then it will go for different thing. So again, this is a new record. When there is a new record, key will be generated and 102, name is Sandy, and location is Pune, 2000, and just imagine same date I'm just taking as loaded date, starting date it is. Ultimately, this is going to be null. Okay, so this is fine. In the next iteration, I'm taking one more record. 103 is loaded. Apart from that, this is changed from Pune to Chennai. Just imagine. So that means location is changed here. And here this is a one new record, one updated record. So when there is a new record, you are going to fade it. When there is an updated record, what you can do it, we'll see. Okay, so first step that we are talking, right? So if there is a new record that I need to fade it, 103. Name is Raja, Bangalore, 5000, and same date I'm just taking. Okay, so this dates will be different. Okay, if you are running in a different dates, then definitely the dates will be differs. Okay, so this is also is going to be null. Then what about this? Just come back to here. If there is a updated record in the data source, if there is a updated record in the data source, then there will be insert in the target. There will be insert in the target. If there is a updated record in the data source, in this particular case, this is the updated record. For that updated record, again, you are going to have an insert only. So key will be generated as a 4. 102 it is. And name is Sandy. Location is Chennai. Salary is 2000. Just imagine, I'm just taking a different date here. Let's say it is 18. And this is going to be null. Now the question is this record new record or is this record new record? That is the question. So for that, you have to understand another point here. Make sure to have not that point. Make sure to have start date and end date and update end date update end date with current date. So make sure to have a start date and end date in this particular approach, and if there is updated data, then update end date with the current date. So then only we can treat that. So that means for this particular column, you have to update this. I'm just taking this date here. I'm just keeping it here. So that means what? When you have a date for the end date, then this is an expired record. Now the live records is what? If the end date is null, then we can say those records are the live records. So that means for every new record, there is an insert in the target. For every update in the data source, again there will be insert in the target. Then we are updating these flags. So these two columns are the flag columns only to decide is that new record or expired record. Okay, so I wanted to show you practically how exactly we are going to handle it. Okay, so let's go to the data flow. Let me switch on this. And I'm already having customer table in the data source. Let me open SSMS. Let's connect it. Okay. Because my database IP addresses are changed. When the network is changed, then definitely you have to make sure to add your IP address. Add this client IP address, save this. And for another database also you have to do it. Because I kept this databases as this. We are not having network protocols, right? So we are not having endpoints. So in real time, they will take care about it. So you don't need to worry about it in real time. Only the problem is when you're doing practice. Now let's connect again. Let's go for the new query. So I'm already having the data in the source. Okay, so let me check, select star from customer. This is the source data. Same select star from customer. Not this one. Target database. Control N. Okay, so what I wanted to do is, for source I don't have any problem, the same columns, but for target we have the different columns, right? So I'm just going to create a table for this. Okay, so let me drop this table. I can alter a table. Okay, so let me drop a table and recreate it. Create table. Table name is customer. Cust key. Cust key of integer data type. And it is identity column 1, 1. And next is customer ID. Again integer data type. Customer name. Varchar 50. Location. Varchar 50. Saves money. So I'm just creating this table. Let's drop the first and then recreate it. Now, if you see the data in this particular place, you cannot find the data because data is not available. So let's start from table. Let's execute it. No data is available here. Oh, I forgot to add 2 more columns. Let's drop again. I wanted to add start date, date time, and data type. Okay, so I'm taking a time here and end date, date time. Let's create again. Now, no data is available for this. Okay, so you created a customer table. You have to bring the data into this particular place. For that one, I'm just going back to the data flow. Data flow debug is ready. So I'm going to take a source. First, let's add a source. SRC customer. Let's take it inline. Azure SQL database it is. So from the source I'm taking, I need to make sure is this link services are connected or not. Let me check by testing a connection. Okay, perfectly all right. Let's go to the options and I need to write a query. So when you read the data from the source, you can use the same select star from table name or you can give select list of the columns. So since I need all the columns, I'm just keeping select star from table. Let's go to the projection and import the scheme. So here a little more number of transformations are going to participate here. Let's close this. In the source, I have a 3 records here. I'm just going to delete from customer where customer ID is in 102, 103. I'm just keeping only 1 record in the source. Now if you see, there is only 1 record. So as per this, I have only 1 record, 101 Bhaskar Hyderabad 1000 is available. Let me refresh again. You can see only 1 record. Let me refresh from the source. Now only 1 record is available. So no data is available in the target if you see in the target. So when you read the data from the target, we are always going to take the latest records only. So to take the latest records, you need to say end date is null. Where end date is null, only the new records you're going to take, not expired records. For comparison, is that new record or existed record? For comparison, we are going to take only live records only. So because of that reason, you have to say where end date is null. So at this point of time, we don't have a record, so you may not feel the difference, but once we load the data, you can see that. So this particular statement you have to apply for the target. Let's go for add source, SRC target, not target, SRC, not TRG customer. Let's go for inline, Azure SQL database, take a link service target and go to your options, query, paste it, and go to projection and import the scheme. So repeated step. Let's close this. Now, so we need to rename the columns when you go for comparison. We have to make a rename of the columns. I'm just renaming by using the select transformation that you already know it. SRC select, I'm saying. I'm just giving a prefix for each and every column. SRC underscore, I'm just giving. Give a prefix for all the columns. Let's close this. The same way you have to do it for the target also. Add a, now you can see the names here. I'm just going to add a select transformation for the target as well. Let's say TRJ select. So here I'm going to give customer key is not available in the source, so we don't need to give the name. Okay, just leave it as it is. Only for common columns, the names of the columns are similar, right? When you compare with the source, if you have a similar naming standard of the columns, you can differentiate by adding a prefix. I'm just giving TRJ underscore except identity column. I wanted to give for all the columns. Something like this. Let's close this. Of course, even for this also I don't need it because I'm not going to compare. Rest of the columns you can just give it. Let's say close. Okay, and one more thing is in the select statement, when you take the data from here, we don't need to take these values. Okay, what the best practice is? Let me keep the list of the columns. I need a customer key. Or customer key it is. Customer ID. Customer name. Location. And sales. Okay, this is the best so that we can avoid those columns. I'm just going to remodify this query. And when you go to the projection, you have to clear the existed schema again, re-import it. Let's close this. And here also I'm just going to take out this again. Let me re-add it. TRG select. So for this columns only, I'm just going to say TRG underscore. And let's close this. no data is available, right? Now I wanted to look into this particular place. Is this 101 existed or not in the target or not, in order to say that. In the last session, we have seen how we can use the lookup transformation to look into the target, right? So in the same way, here also I'm going to use the lookup transformation. So I wanted to say here, we are going to get the new records or existed records. I'm just going to say new or existed. You can give any name. Okay, even if you don't give, that's fine. Your primary stream is source select and you are looking into the target select. And common column is source customer ID from the source table and target customer ID from the target table. Then close this. Now you can see. Okay, so if the record is not existed, then you can see the nulls, and if the record is existed, then you can see the comparison. Okay, so what I wanted to do is, the last time how I have done, just for visibility I am taking this. I wanted to keep one existed record in the target. Okay, so if you wanted to keep this, first I wanted to exist in the source, insert into customer values 102. Previously it was okay. Only so here we kept it as a Pune. On 2000. This is the new record I'm just inserting into the source. And there is a 101 is the right that I wanted to make it as a existed record. Insert into customer values. We are not going to feed the data for customer key because that is a identity column. It is going to be generated 101 and Bhaskar Hyderabad and Town. And then we need to pass the start date value, right? So start date, I'm just going to give get date, and end date is null. So I'm just feeding one sample record for checking purpose. Now, if we execute this, you can see there is a one record. Okay, so just for visibility, I'm just going to say star here so that you can see all the columns from the table. So this is a record loaded here, and this is a new record. Okay, so one is existed record and one is new record. And I mean to say, when you compare with the source, you're going to have a from the source. I'm just refreshing from here. From the source itself, you can see you will be having two records in the source, 101 and 102. And from the target, you will be having one record because we loaded one record here. One record you can see here. And if I go to this particular place, I wanted to refresh from the source. You can find one existed record, one new record. What happened? One zero one was there. Yeah, not this one. Okay, so 101 is existed record. 102 is the new record. Okay, so you have to say which one is a new record and which one is a existed record. Okay, so now I wanted to separate them. If the customer ID is null, if the target customer ID is null, then we can say it is a new record. Or you can also treat this customer key also. If the customer key is null, then that is a new record. So I wanted to split the data into two parts. Okay. So to split the data into two parts, you can directly use the derived column transformation, or you can use the split transformation. So when you use the split transformation, you can filter data directly. You don't need to go for again derived column transformation to define is that existed record or new record. You can directly go for split transformation. Let's take a split. That means conditional split. So here I'm going to say new records. Existed records. So in new records, I'm going to write the expression. If it is a null, is null of target customer key. Is null of target customer key. If it is true, then it is a new record. Let's save and finish. So if it is not having the null, automatically it will go for the default output, that is the existed records. I don't need to write a condition for that. Let's close this. One new record will go here and existed record will go to here. Now you can see existed records are there here. And new records, if I select, this is a new record. And if I change to existed record, then you can see existed record for that. How exactly it is showing the data. That is fine. I don't have a problem with the new records because they are the brand new records. I can take only this particular columns to bring the data. But problem is with the existed record. Existed record, again, you will be having two things. Modified records or non-modified records. Right? Updated records may be there, and if there is no update, then I don't need to take care anything. Okay, if it is not having any changes, then I don't need to worry about it. Okay, I'm just going to add one more record. Otherwise, it's not required. I'll show you how exactly it is going to be happen. So here you have to define the condition. Okay, so the condition, again, you can use the conditional split directly, or if you wanted to write a flag, you can write the flag. It's up to you. Okay. If this column is not same as the target column, or this column, basically we don't compare with the customer number. We are going to compare with this one, and this one with this one. We are going to compare, and this value and this value we are going to compare. Okay, so here also I can use directly conditional split transformation. We don't need to go for derived column again. If you wanted to go for derived, you can go for that. Okay, so to avoid many transformation, I'm directly going for the conditional split again here also. So on what basis you are going to take the condition here? I wanted to say modified or updated records. Okay, so here I'm just giving ignore. I don't need to do anything for this particular records. I wanted to take only updated records. Okay, and even I don't need the conditional split. If you wanted to do anything for this particular thing, then you can go for conditional split. I can directly go for filter transformation. Because I need only if the condition is satisfied records. That means updated records. Let's go here. I'm going to write the condition here. If source customer name is not equals to target customer name, TRG customer name, or logical or source location is not equal to target location, or source sales is not equals to target sales. So like this, you have written the condition. So if this condition is satisfied, then only you are going to get the records. That means only updated records only you are going to get. Let's save and finish. And close this. So no records are updated records because this is a same to same records, right? If you go for here, existed records, and the output existed records, we are having same to same. This value is same and this value is same. This value is same and this value is same. And this value is same and this value is same. If there is a change, then only you can see in the output. But I wanted to keep one updated record so that we can have a clear picture. So what I wanted to do is, I wanted to add one more existed records, 102, Sandy, Pune, 2000. So no changes for the 102. So 2 records are there here. That is fine. And I wanted to update this 101 in the source. Update customer set location equals to Chennai, where customer ID equals to 10. Just for reference, I'm just taking this. So now if I refresh this from the source, then you can see one record here. Because I wanted to updated some records here just for showing practically here. Now if you see, previously Bhaskar location is Hyderabad, now the location is Chennai. How many existed records? You can see here, one existed record, only one existed record. Two existed records. So existed records is 2, 101 and 102. 102 is the no changes. Here Sandy and here is Sandy, here is Pune, 2000, no changes there. Only the change record is this. So we are taking into this particular place when the record is coming into here, that is a modified records, that is an updated record only is going to come to here. So new records also going for insert and updated records also going for insert. That is what we discussed. So in the theoretically we have seen, if there is a new record in the data source, then we need to insert in the target. And if there is an updated record in the data source, then we have to insert into the target. So that is what we are going to say here. So here I wanted to take only the source columns data only. So we can say, we can use the select transformation here. Select transformation. Let it be select one. I don't need the target columns. You can take out all the target columns, including customer key. I don't need it, cust key also. I wanted to say it is source ID, customer name, location, and sales. Let's close this. So at this point of time, I don't have a new record. So because of that reason, it is getting but I wanted to insert one new record in the target, in the source, so that you can see one new record, 103, Raja. It's executed. Now, if I refresh again here from the source, then you can see one new record. Because 103 is not existed in the target. So this record will go for insert. This, if you see, the column name is not modified. I'm just taking out that. Sometimes it will not get modified. Yeah, it is modified. Give me a moment. Okay, so in the same way, from here also you need to take only updated records. That is a source columns data. You have to take it. Let's add a select transformation here. Select 2. So here also target columns, I don't need it. I need to take only these columns. Let's close this. This is fine. And this records and this records both has to go for insert. So for that reason, I'm going to use the transformation called union all transformation. In SQL, we talked about the union all, right? So union or union all. Okay, so in some places, union all operation will be there, but they will give the union all operation will be there, but maybe the name of the transformation may be union transformation. Okay, so here these two transformations will be, these two options will be used to append the data. So when we can append the data is if the tables are having same structure and same kind of data. So here this output of this select 1 is having same number of columns, and output of the select 2 also is having same columns. Okay, so we can append this data by using union transformation. We can see here union transformation. Name of the transformation is union, but it behaves as a union all. And union with select 2. Union incoming stream is select 1 and union with select 2. Okay, so let's close this one. You can say 2 records are there. These 2 records has to go for insert. But I need to have a start date and end date, right? So in this particular case, I need only start date. I don't need to set the end date because they are the new records. So for start date, we need to define a flag. Let's add a derived column transformation. I'm just saying start date. The column name is start date. I'm just taking UTC time standard. I think it is UTC, current UTC. That's all. Save and finish. Let's close this. Now we have a start date here. So these columns need to go for insert. Let's go for sync. Inline. Azure SQL database. Let's take a link service that is a target. So same as your SAD type 1 implementation. Let's go to the settings, refresh it. Let's take a DBO. Let's take a customer table here. Okay, so that's all. Even if you go for the mapping, you just cross verify if you wanted to verify. The column names are same. If at all, if column names are different, then you can just uncheck this and map the columns accordingly. So let's close this. So this data is going to feed the data. And to say is that expired record or not, we have to update these flags. This flag has to be attempted. This flag need to be attempted based on the customer key. Okay, so I'm just going to take one more path. So for existed record, you have to go for, for updated records. For updated record, for 101, you have to update the flag, right? You have to update the flag because 101 is existed record. For 101, you will be having customer key, right? This customer key. For 10, this one is a updated record. So previously you have a Hyderabad location. Now you are having a Chennai location. So this Chennai location, you need to say the Chennai location is a new record and target location was Hyderabad previously. So for this particular record, you have to make a update. Okay, so end date we need to give it. So for that, you have to take based on this customer key. Based on the customer key, you have to take it. So what you have to do is, so from here, whatever the data is flowing in this particular place, the same thing I wanted to take one more branch here. So you can take a branch. So in SSIS, if you have experience in SSIS, there is a transformation called multicast transformation. So same data we can flow in multiple branches. Okay, so here also we have the similar kind of approach. Whatever the data is flowing here, the same thing I wanted to take it as a one more branch. Okay, so parallelly we can have a one more branch. In order to do that, if you hit on this plus here, we can see there is an option called new branch. Okay, so from here it is going to take one more branch. So whatever is there here, the same thing will be there in this particular place also. Let's hit on new branch. Now new branch is added. New branch is added, and you can see the data here also the same thing. Okay, so I'm just going to add a select transformation here. I don't need all the columns. I need only customer key. Okay, so let's go and take a select. Select 3. I don't need all these columns. I'm just going to keep only customer key. All these columns also I don't need it because we are just going to update the flag only. Customer key only I wanted to keep it. Let's close this. So select 3 I'm having here. And then I need to update the end date, right? So to update it, again, you need to have a derived column transformation. I'm just taking end date. End date. So UTC now I'm taking current UTC. Let's save and finish. And close this. So this record has to go for update. So yesterday, in the last session we have seen to make this record go for update, what you have to do is you have to use the alter row transformation. So whatever the record is coming through this transformation should go for update. I'm just taking update if 1 equals to 1. So 1 equals to 1 is always going to be true, or you can write directly true also. Let's close this. And let's add a sync2 will come. Let's go for inline. Azure SQL database. Let's take a target here, because target table only you're going to update it. Let's refresh this. Let's take a DBO. Let's go for customer, and I wanted to go for update for this. So update is based on the customer key. I wanted to update it. Okay, let's go to the mappings. That's fine. Just leave it as this. Let's close this. No worries. Just save this code first. So it is not taking this key column. So if it is not taking, then we have to reopen this data flow. Let me try one more time. If you see the errors, it will say about the key column. So just close this and reopen it. Let's go to the sync2. Let me take again key column, customer key. Close this. Now this has taken. Let's save it again. Now I wanted to create a pipeline for this. Okay, so let's say new pipeline. PL underscore SAD underscore type 2. Let's save again. So all this saving is happening only in your working branch. I think I have not given this activity. Data flow activity. Just drag and drop. That's all. Save it. And I'm just going to truncate my target table. Okay, so I don't want to keep any data in the I mean to say the target. Truncate table name. So because I have to validate this, so for just validating, I just wanted to truncate event source and target. Both tables I'm just going to truncate so that you're not having the data in the source, and in the target also you're not having the data. So no data is available in the target. So let's add one record in the data source. (101). Same as per Excel. I'm just going to add the values here. 1000. only one record I'm inserting into the source. So if I run this, then it is going to have, I'm just going to keep only, and let's take a select star from customer. No data is available in the target. I'm just going to run the pipeline. Let's debug the pipeline. Now it is succeeded. If you go and see the data in the target, we're having customer case 1, customer ID, and the details. So here you can see end date is null because this is a new record. Now I'm going to add one more new record in the source. And one updated record, and let it be as this. Let me run it again. Only one record will be loaded. Now it is succeeded. If you go and see the target table, you will be having 2 records. Now I'm going to add one new record. 103 is the new record, and I'm going to update. I'm going to have one updated record. Okay, so 2 records are there. One updated record, one new record, one no change in the record. Okay, so let's rerun this pipeline. I'll take you through how exactly it was executed. Now it is succeeded. If you see in the target, you can see. So 101 previously it was Hyderabad. Previously it was Hyderabad. Now it is a Chennai. So this is the latest record and this is the expired record. That means it's a world record. Okay, so we are having start date and end date when it was ended, when it was started, we are going to have it. Okay, so this is how we are going to work with this. Now, if you go and see how exactly it was executed when you see this data flow details, you can see here two syncs are there, sync 1 and sync 2. Sync 1 is taking 2 records because 2 records, one new record, updated record will go for insert only. Okay, so sync 2 is for only 1 record is going for update. And if I see from the beginning, so here in the source we have it, we are taking only, not source, this is a target. SRC customer, 3 records are there, right? In the source we have a three records. So in the target we have a 2 records. Okay, so this is a target selected also is having 2 records and source selected is also having 3 records here. So that means from the source 3 records are coming. So when you use the lookup on the target, so 3 records you are going to get out of this lookup. So conditional split is having 2 splits, right? One is updated and other is existed and new is there. So here one record is a new record is going, and this particular side is having updated record. You'll be having the flags. Okay, so you can find somewhere the flag. Okay, so when you move the cursor here, you can see new records it is. One new record is there, and when you move the cursor here, this is the existed records. 2 are existed records. That means incoming of here lookup is giving 3 records to conditional split. Conditional split is splitting into 2 parts. One part is new record, another part is existed record. And existed again, these 2 records will go to the filter. Filter is having 2 records, but filter is giving only, filter is going to give here 2 records are there, right? It is going to give only 1 record because we are applying a filter right here. So the output of this filter is going to get 1 record. And here you are defining a flag and 1 record is there, and here also 1 record and 1 record is going to be stored. Okay, so update is also required, right? For updated existed records, right? So when it comes to here, you'll be having 1 record. That 1 record is going for the update. Okay, so that is how it is going to work. So we can fill, if there is a new record, then it is going for insert, and if there is a updated record, again for that updated record also will go for update. And if the record is not having any change, then we are not going to consider that because we are applying the filter here itself to take only updated records. Only updated records we are going to take it here. Okay, so this is how we are going to do it. So now I wanted to take a questions if you have any question. So in the next session, I'm going to talk about this partitioning. So that will be completely theory mechanism only. Okay, so you are having only checkboxes, or you have an option to choose the number of partitions. So whatever I'm going to talk tomorrow's session, that is same as even Databricks also. The concept is same for the Databricks as well. Okay, so let me give a mic to you if you have any question. Unmute yourself and ask a question if you have. Go through this recorded session guys again and again till you get practice. If you understand the way how I'm defining, okay, so step by step if you can go, then you don't need to remember what transformation using. So you have to understand the approach. First what you're doing. Okay, first we are getting new records and existing records. Then we are taking new records separate and existing records separate. From the existing records, we are taking updated records. So like this, you have to understand. Okay, so in the interview, you have to explain about this. And in order to check which transformation we are going to use to check is record existed or not, we can say by using lookup transformation, we can look into the target to verify is the record existed in the target or not. Okay, so if you can do this practice thoroughly, then definitely you can easily explain about SAD type if they ask. Okay, so if you have no questions, any questions? Yeah, Viren?
So here we have union, right? So in ADF we have union and unional both, or only union?
Only union.
Okay, so that will act as unional?
That will act as only union.
Oh, I mean, so union don't.
No union, only union. Okay, name is union, but behaves as a union.
Okay, got it. Yeah, thank you.
Sir, Bhaskar, one doubt. If we select as the union, right? Union, all of union, then it will append the data, right? What the data it will append actually?
Repeat again.
So if we apply for the union, all right, we get it is that appending the data, right? If we append the data, I mean all the data will append or only the
all the data?
Append?
All the data.
Okay.
Whatever the data is coming from it, select one and select two will be union.
Okay.
So including duplicates also actually.
Duplicates are required, right? Duplicates are required.
So this concept is similar to temporal table because existing is
Which one?
storing. Temporal tables is there.
Where we have a temporal table?
Temporal table. No, not temporal. Temporal is one concept is there in SQL.
Okay, no idea.
Is it? Okay.
No, temporal is maintain the history, but whenever we want maintain history, so we'll use the temporal table, and also we can convert that as a main table. But it is like kind of incremental load, so I can say. So whenever there is
Of course, this is the incremental loading as well as even SAD type historical data also we are going to make it.
Yeah, because updated one is storing other. That's the reason. Somewhat similar, right?
Yeah, similar. Wherever you go, that approach may be different, but concept is same.
Okay.
Even SSIS also we have, Informatica is having. Everywhere will be there. All the ETL tools will be there to implement SAD type 1 and type 2. Okay. Okay, then I'm stopping here and we'll see you tomorrow to talk about partitioning. And once that is completed, then we are going to start talking about the database. There will be few pending things will be there from the data factory. Those will be covered as part of the project, like triggers, scheduling, all those things we are going to handle as part of the project. Okay. Okay, then we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining.